Hi. I finally got this thing to work, but you can see the situation. I ordered a new cord. It's all good. Ignore this jerry rig situation and make do with what I have. Hey, what's up? It's nalastasiaa and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Nala. I'm a stay-at-home mom. My hobby is collecting hobbies, and reading happens to be one of them. So, today we're going to be talking about all the books that I've read in the month of May. It's time for a May wrap-up. So, in the last few wrap-ups, I've said, oh, I had a reading slip, this is just the new normal. Honestly, in the beginning of the month, I have a lot of faith in myself to be able to read a high number of books, and then I just end up not doing it. We're just going to get into this. I have some really good ones, and then I had a bunch of rereads as well, because it was a series. So the first book that I read this month was Peel of the Woods, and it is actually a graphic novel. I believe it is middle grade. I'm still learning all those terms, but I found it in the kids section, so I think that's middle grade. You know, I'm gonna be honest, I forgot the main character's name. I found this book very enjoyable. Again, it was one of those cozy kind of books. A good palette cleanser, I found. That's what I use my graphic novels for. It's just a nice, good palette cleanser when I don't feel like using my brain a whole bunch or like sniffing the coffee beans in between fragrances. It was very enjoyable. I gave it a 3.5 stars, just because it didn't wow me. In the beginning of the book, she gets into a fight with her older sister and then runs away into the woods. And then we run into this new woodland creature, Pilu. Had a fight with her mother. So they have both had fights with a significant person in their life. The book really encompasses around not dealing with emotions, because that's not something that you should just deal with it. That's how I imagine that word. But understanding your emotions and learning that pushing them down is not going to solve anything. And I think that is a very good book, especially for younger ages, to teach them how to kind of sift through those emotions. And emotions are actually little like mushroom monsters, because they said that whenever they grow in the dark, much like your emotions, whenever they grow in the dark, they fester and you don't see all these root systems down below in the ground, and it grows and grows and grows. It was a nice book. It made me cry at the end. I was a sappy little bitch during this book, just because of the little twist at the end that it has. And as a mother, that's just a soft subject for me. It's 3.75. I might bump it up just a little bit more. I don't know. Again, it didn't wow me. It could have been so much more. But it was not bad by any means. The second book that I read was Lightfall Shadow, the Bird of Shadow? No, Shadow of the Bird. I'm so mad at this. So, this is the second book to the first Lightfall that I read last month, and I had seen it at my library and just decided, hey, I'm gonna pick it up because they have it, so why not? It's gonna be quick. And I enjoyed the twist that they put in there, and I don't want to like give away anything, but maybe that like the bad guy isn't really the bad guy, you know? Not a lot happened in this book, so I was actually pretty disappointed with that. It's immediately from the events after what happened in the first book. So basically they go on this little journey of trying to find this water dragon, and it was a lot of traveling, not a lot of character development, I would say, which was really disappointing. It was super frustrating that the protagonist was warned not to do something. This kid, which is like, I don't know, 12, maybe 14, is like, no more than you, 1,000-year-old water dragon spirit. I'm gonna do what I want. And basically fucked everyone. The next book doesn't even have an announcement date, which also was extremely disappointing. I gave it a 3 out of 5, if we're being real. And I really enjoyed that the art in this book is so cozy and so beautiful. The third book, I will still read it because I need to know what happens. I had a lot more hopes for that, and it really, really disappointed me. I hope that he continues with the third, although I've looked on his website and nothing, so we'll see. So the next few books, I did not read physically. I listened to them on graphic audio. And I just have to say that I may have really completely just like screwed all audiobooks for myself, because now I believe that all audiobooks should be like graphic audio. Because they're so damn good. It's like a movie in your head. It has a full cast of actors for the audiobooks. Each character in your book that speaks has their own actor voicing them, and it is so cool. They have background sounds and music for ambiance, and it just like truly is like listening to a movie, and that is the best way to listen to a book ever. I loved it so much. And the series that I listened to is ACOTAR. So it was actually a reread because I did read ACOTAR. I read ACOTAR last year. It's actually what kicked off my reading again. So last summer, it's been about a year. And I listened to A Court of Thorns and Roses, A Court of Mist and Fury, and A Court of Wings and Ruin. I didn't listen to A Court of Frost and Starlight, which, like, I'm not eager to read it again. I just read it a few months ago. Back in like January, I think I read it for the first time. I just don't really feel the need to go through all of that again. I am reading A Court of Silver Flames this month of June, and so I wanted to refresh that. And it is so cool going back and rereading the ACOTAR series whenever you already know what you know. There's a lot of things that you catch that you didn't really catch the first time. There's a lot of little Easter eggs and little clues and foreshadowing that you never would have caught on to the first time, and it's just really fun. I'm gonna be real with you, Farah is kind of annoying the second time around. It's alright, it's alright. I mean, it wasn't like painstakingly, like, I couldn't stand her, but she did get on my nerves a little bit. But Court of Thorns and Roses, I believe I give it a 4-star. And A Court of Mist of Fury is a 5. And then A Court of Wings and Ruin is also a 5-star. And if I have to say out of those 3, which are my favorite, it used to be A Court of Mist and Fury, but now that I've read it a second time, it is A Court of Wings and Ruin because I love the feminine rage that Farah goes into, and absolutely just, I was about to give so many spoilers, but the feminine rage that she has through that first half of the book, there's some scenes that I just adore, that I just love. I love feminine rage in books. It's great. In case you're wondering who my favorite bad boy is, it's Cassian. So I'm very excited for A Court of Silver Flames. I feel like there's going to be a lot of scenes that are just going to hit a right note with me. I did have an arc this month, I Hardly Love in Cliches by Ella Mays. Thoroughly enjoyed this book. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. Solely for one fact, and that was the 3rd act breakup, but we'll get into that. I guess I should give you the little synopsis, huh? So basically Charlie is this woman who's working in a PR agency. It's a family-owned PR agency, so her sister works there and her dad is the boss. She is just counting down the days until she's going to move across the country away from all of her family. She's miserable, and one day she walks into work and she sees the man who got away. He is a man who she had sat down with a diner like 6 years before, and for like a week straight, every night they went to this diner and they went to go talk to each other. They never exchanged names. And then one day he was supposed to show up. It was going to be like their official like first date kind of thing, and he didn't show up. And so she just never forgot about him. And then one day she walks into work and he is her new boss. So it is an office romance, and it is beautiful. I love it so much. The little secret notes that he puts inside of her romance books sitting on her desk at work. So cute. I just really, really loved this book. My favorite thing about this book was just the healthy communication that Charlie and William have. It's beautiful. My least favorite type of trope in rom-coms is miscommunication. I think that it is a really lazy way to make your characters fight, to be honest. So I absolutely adored. There's this trip scene where Charlie goes with William to the beach, like a beach house, and go and meets his family and stuff, which I thought was so cute. Charlie she's very, she's very outspoken, very headstrong, very much so on that side, but she also kind of lets people walk all over her, which I really resonate with that. But the reason that I gave it a 4-star was because of the breakup scene. He like snapped at her for something at work that totally was not her fault and was out of character. Spoiler alert. Her answer to that was to just pack her shit up and leave and move across the country without telling him.
You sure about that?
I was like, really? Really? But it has a slow burn, it's second chance, it's office romance, it's dual POV, and they do have healthy communication aside from that 3rd act breakup, which is like why I had an issue with it so much, was because it was so out of just like both of their character And so that really pulled me out of it. I'm like, what the hell? So yeah, anyways, it was really good. I really enjoyed it otherwise. I do recommend it. It's real sweet. It does have some spice in it too, which is the last thing I read was, I actually have the copy for this because I haven't returned it to the library yet. And yeah, Tress. Tress of the Emerald Sea. This is just so good. It was my first Brandon Sanderson book, and I know a lot of people say that it should not be your first Brandon Sanderson book because it gives you spoilers of certain characters, other stories, and to be honest, I don't know what the spoilers were. I mean, I'm sure whenever I eventually do read the other Brandon Sanderson books, I will see how they were spoilers, but in that case, like, I thoroughly enjoyed this so much. It's 5 stars. If I could give it more, I would, because I really, truly loved it. It is whimsical, it is comedic, and it is insightful, and it's playful, and it's just an overall wonderful time. If you love Princess Bride, you're going to love this. Have very similar vibes. Tress lives on this rock. It's this very tiny, small island, and there's this boy that she admires, and he basically, we'll just say that he gets lost at sea. And she has to go and try and save him. The way that this kind of relates to Princess Bride is that whenever Brandon Sanderson was watching this movie with his wife, they were basically like, they didn't really give Buttercup much to do, did they? And she was just kind of damsel in distress. They didn't like that. So he's like, well, what would happen if Buttercup actually did go out and search for him whenever he went missing? So that is kind of like what the premise of this is the girl going out and searching for the guy, which I really enjoyed. And I think it's so cool that Tress saw herself as like the normal, nothing special about her kind of thing. She's just overall average, because that's how I think a lot of readers can identify with themselves, so they can kind of put themselves into the story. When I finished this book, I immediately wanted to pick it back up and go all the way back to the beginning and read it all over again. It was just that good. It has pirates and adventure and mystery, twists and found family, and a strong-hearted heroine. Yeah, I really adored the narration style, and I loved the twist at the end. There are a lot of twists in this book. You never know where the plot is going to take you in this, and it's so fun. And the ocean, I just have to say, is not like a the ocean is not like a normal ocean with water. The water is actually spores, and they interact with water, and they use that in their mechanics and weaponry and stuff, and it's so cool. And I am looking forward to reading more from Brandon Sanderson. This just like ignited my love for him, and I'm really excited to read more. That, unfortunately, is all the books that I have read during the month of May. I so wish that I had read more. But that's okay. I had family who came into town. Well, excuse me. I had family who came into town, and my oldest graduated kindergarten, and we just had a lot of stuff going on. And life happens, you know? So I think that was 7 books that I read this month. And I'm happy with the books that I read. They were all quality books, so I'm very happy with them. And yeah, I would love to hear what your favorite book was that you read this month, and leave me a little star emoji down below. If you want to connect more with me, I am on Bookstagram and Book Talk. And yeah, I hope that you have a beautiful day, and of course, stay excellent. Bye.